Man wielding hammer and petrol bomb shot by Hamburg police ahead of Euro Cup match. World leaders join Ukraine summit in test of Kyiv's peace push. Xi accuses US of provoking China to attack Taiwan. Thousands protest against far right across France. Beach cleanup underway after Singapore oil spill. Beijing offers Pandas as ties with Australia Thaw.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Monday, June 17th, and here are your top stories. The 2024 UEFA European Championship, hosted by Germany, is currently in the group stage. During a fan parade in the central Hamburg on the 16th, a man wielding a hammer and a petrol bomb threatened police and tried to ignite the bomb. Police had to shoot him and subsequently subdued him. Hamburg police spokesperson Sandra Levgruen stated that the 39-year-old German man attempted to ignite the petrol bomb and approached several people, including police. The police were forced to shoot him in the leg. The man emerged from a restaurant and was highly agitated.
German police reported that a man wielding a long-handled hammer and a petrol bomb threatened pedestrians and police in Hamburg ahead of a Euro 2024 match. He was shot and injured by police. According to Reuters, a police spokesperson said the attacker sustained a leg injury and is receiving treatment, with no life-threatening injuries. Hamburg police spokesperson Sandra Levgruen stated, he apparently tried to ignite the petrol bomb and approached several people, including police officers. The police were thus forced to use their firearms. The 39-year-old German man, possibly in a state of mental agitation, was seen waving a hammer as he exited a snack bar. There is no evidence linking him to the football match. Before the Euro 2024 tournament, fans had begun parading, and Dutch fans were nearing the end of their parade when the incident occurred.
World leaders gather at a Swiss alpine resort on Saturday to seek broader consensus for Ukraine's peace proposals at a summit shunned by China and dismissed as a waste of time by Russia, which pushed its own rival ceasefire plans from afar. More than 90 countries took part, but China's absence in particular dimmed hopes that the summit would show Russia as globally isolated, while recent military reverses have put Kyiv on the back foot. The war in Gaza between Israel and Hamas has also diverted the world's attention from Ukraine.
The talks focused on broader concerns triggered by the war, such as food and nuclear security. A draft of a final summit declaration, seen by Reuters, blames Russia's war in Ukraine for causing large-scale human suffering and destruction, and urges Ukraine's territorial integrity to be respected. The leaders of France, Germany, Italy, Britain, Canada, and Japan are among those due to attend. Turkey and Hungary, which maintain friendlier relations with Russia, are also expected to join. China had said it would consider taking part, but ultimately declined because Russia would not be there. The summit has also had to contend with an alternative plan floated by Beijing.
According to the Financial Times, Chinese President Xi Jinping told European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen last year that the U.S. was trying to provoke China into attack in Taiwan, but it wouldn't be baited. Analysts believe Xi's remarks aim to divide Europe and the U.S. on the Taiwan issue. Xi warned that U.S. conflict could destroy China's achievements and hinder his goal of national rejuvenation by 2049. Some Chinese scholars and retired officials claim the U.S. is provoking Beijing through arms sales to Taiwan, with former Ambassador Qiu Tiankai stating China won't fall into such traps.
According to reports, Washington, under the Taiwan Relations Act, is obligated to assist Taiwan in self-defense. The Biden administration has consistently opposed Taiwanese independence and unilateral changes to the status quo. Increasingly anxious about U.S. intentions, China has showcased military strength near Taiwan. Jude Blanchette, director of China Studies at CSIS, suggests Xi Jinping's remarks might indicate internal pressure to moderate policies. Bonnie Glaser of the German Marshall Fund's Indo-Pacific program views Xi's comments as potentially aimed at driving a wedge between Europe and the U.S. However, interpretations vary regarding Xi's true beliefs or strategic aims. Spokespeople for von der Leyen and the White House declined comment, while experts like Zhu Feng of Nanjing University argue Xi's concerns reflect fears of U.S. provocation over Taiwan.
Thousands marched in Paris and cities across France on Saturday to protest against the far-right national rally ahead of upcoming elections to the French parliament. About 21,000 police and gendarmes were deployed at rallies on Saturday, with authorities expecting between 300,000 and 500,000 protesters nationwide. Crowds have been gathering daily in France ever since the anti-immigration RN made historic gains in the European Parliament elections last Sunday.
This prompted Macron to dissolve the National Assembly and call for a snap legislative election, to be held in 2 rounds on June 30th and July 7th. A large crowd turned out despite rainy and windy weather on Saturday, holding placards reading, "Liberty for all, equality for all, and fraternity with all," a reference to France's national motto, as well as, "Let's break frontiers, documents for all, no to the immigration bill." To prevent the National Rally Party from winning the upcoming elections, left-wing parties finally agreed on Friday to set aside differences over the wars in Gaza and Ukraine and form a coalition. They urged French citizens to defeat the far right.
An oil spill caused by a dredger boat hitting a stationary cargo tanker has blackened part of Singapore's southern coastline, including the popular resort island of Sentosa, raising concerns about the potential threats to marine wildlife. The incident occurred when the Netherlands-flagged dredger Vox Maxima struck the Singaporean fuel supply ship Marine Honor on Friday, damaging its cargo tank and causing an oil leak. Singapore's Maritime and Port Authority stated late Saturday that the oil leak had been contained and treated with dispersants, and a clean-up operation was on the way on Sunday.
On Sunday, workers in orange suits were seen scooping up sand in a cleanup operation at an empty beach in Sentosa. Black water washed up on the oil-stained shore. Authorities have deployed 18 craft for the cleanup efforts and laid close to 1,500 meters of container booms, temporary floating barriers to trap the oil spill. Conservationists and biologists are monitoring the full extent of the damage on marine and wildlife. Local conservation group Marine Stewards reported seeing photos of dead fish, otters, and kingfishers covered in oil slick. Group founder Su Yi told the Singapore Straits Times that oil spills smother and suffocate fish, birds, and marine animals that have to surface for air, such as turtles and dolphins.
China's Premier Li Qiang has offered to send Australia 2 new pandas during his visit to Adelaide Zoo. The new pandas will replace the zoo's existing pandas named Wang Wang and Thuni, who are friendly messengers of China-Australia relations. Mr. Li's arrival in Australia for a 4-day trip is the first by a Chinese leader in 7 years, marking improving ties between the 2 countries. Both China and Australia see the visit as central to addressing outstanding trade and consular issues.
China is seeking to increase its influence in the South Pacific, expanding security and economic ties with island states that are historically allied with Australia. This has been a point of tension between the nations for years, but bilateral relations hit a low point when former Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison called for an international inquiry in 2020 into the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic in China. Upon his arrival in Adelaide on Saturday, Mr. Li heralded a thaw in the diplomatic rift. Offering pandas is a practice that dates back as far as the Tang dynasty, which ruled from 618 through 907 CE. Panda diplomacy, or sending pandas as diplomatic gifts, has long been an instrument of China's diplomatic efforts.
Now let's delve into the news of men wielding hammer and patrol bomb shot by Hamburg police ahead of Euro Cup match. Number 1, wield. 挥、操、使用武器工具等等于 brandish. He was wielding a large knife. Number 2, subdue. 制服、控制、压制. Troops were called in to subdue the rebels. Number 3, agitation. 焦虑不安、忧虑、烦乱. Dot arrived in a state of great agitation. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comments section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I'll see you next time.